find out who the connections are.
Oh, we're just chit-chatting here on OpenLine. We're good pals, Kevin Kennedy and I.
Real good. Talking about next year and all the things that we're going to get done.
That's right. We decided to let the kind folks join in on our conversation tonight.
I guess so. You remember this? This is one of the things we say at the law firm. The camera's always on and the microphone is always on.
Sure is.
Can I say amen to that?
Amen.
Okay, Case.
Maybe you're just now joining us. I want to go ahead and reintroduce Kevin Kennedy of the Kennedy Law Firm.
Yes.
We are so happy to have you here on OpenLine Ask the Attorney.
Yeah, well, we've been rolling. She does a great job trying to get to as many people as she can. We try to answer the questions the best we can. And if there's something that you need to delve in a little deeper, you can always call, and we'd love to try to help you even off the air.
You got our phone right here. We can see who's waiting. And speaking of, I do believe we have Jeffrey that's been waiting the longest.
Jeff.
I believe Jeffrey is on line 2 for us tonight. Is that you, Jeffrey?
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
it sure
hello.
is.
Thank you for calling. What's your question tonight?
Hey, Mr. Kevin Kennedy.
Yes,
love
sir.
you, brother.
I love you too. Thank you. That's so kind.
Hey, well, I know you from way back, but I got a question for you. I got a friend of mine that supposedly thinks he's a convicted felon. How do you figure it out?
Well, first off, if you could get someone to run his name and social security number on the national NCIC, it will show up whether he is a convicted felon or not. And, you know, there's one other thing I'd like to say. If you've had a misunderstanding in years gone by, don't say it's over. You know, I'm a convicted felon. I can't run for public office. I can't vote. You know, there's ways to be to remove that off the record. The legislature is all the time making changes, and you need to let a lawyer probably research your particular case, find out, do we have a shot? And hey, even if the law's not there, you remember, you can still get a governor's pardon. Did I say it? And there's some people that's still going to get a presidential pardon. And so there's always all kinds of, and why would they ever consider that? Because you've lived an exemplary life, and you have to have an advocate to explain why you should be given this consideration over others.
Great question. We appreciate that call. Let's go ahead and get to Roger on line 1. Hi, Roger. What's your question tonight?
I'm building a house over in Pickett County, Burgestown, Tennessee.
All right.
And the contractor that I hired did all right for a while. He would send an invoice, and then we would deposit money in his account. And so he sent an invoice for materials, and then we sent him $10,000.
Come on, I already know where this is going.
And he's disappeared.
Yes. One of the things that, and we see this all the time, you've got to hear this. We saw an elderly lady where the guy said, I want $230,000 to build her home, and she wrote him a check and disappeared. Oh. Now, they should prosecute them, but again, it's a lot of hassle to go to talk and do this. So here's the word to the wise. Before you enter into business with someone, check them out. Get some references. Get somebody to help you. And there is a Latin caveat. It said, let the buyer beware. Caveat emptor, meaning no one's going to protect you but you're yourself. So even you and I who say, hey, well, how much do you want to renovate this? He says $25,000. Well, then we want to structure it in a way that we feel safe. Meaning, okay, once you get this much done, you get this done, we'll pay you X amount of dollars. And if he said, no, I don't work like that, you say, okay, then we don't work like that. You've got to use your best judgment, and always you try to make the deal where you are safe. And if you gave out, if the work is there, the materials are there, you pay for the materials. If they put it under roof and then it's $20,000, we're under roof. And if they walked off, you and I are not hurt. We'll just get another contract and we'll fix it. Where we get into trouble, and there's no good answer, but please go to a lawyer immediately. Immediately. And there's also a law out there that's contractor's fraud. And if we can prove that guy intentionally defrauded you, he can be arrested and charged, and then you may get your money back through restitution with the district attorney's office.
Wow, that's great advice. Unfortunate situation, though.
It really is. And the same thing's true on every kind of little job you do. Hey, my dad was a barber, and I was having a driveway cut in one day. And he said, well, get it in writing. I said, Daddy, I'm the lawyer. I know. He said, get it in writing. And so the guy and I was out there on a piece of paper, and do this. Just write it out on a little piece of paper envelope. I've done thousands of them. A good understanding keeps down a misunderstanding. I will pour this driveway for $18,000, $9,000 when it's halfway done, the balance when it's finished. And so both parties sign, and it kind of holds everybody to it. Some people don't mean to rip you off, they don't want to, but then they get caught and then they rip you off. Yeah,
unfortunate, but we appreciate the call. Great advice as usual, Kevin Kennedy. Tony, you're on line 2. We're going to get to you in just a second, but I believe we have Ralph on line 4 first. Hi, Ralph. What's your question tonight?
Yes, I'd like to know a little bit about the process in front of the administrative law judge for Social Security hearing.
All right, here's the deal. An administrative law judge basically hears evidence, here's the other side, and they are not bound by all the evidentiary rules that a regular civil court would be bound with. And really, how do you work within these courts? Every state is a little different, but we understand the theory. You have a right to present your case. They have a right to cross-examine. You have a right for them to present their case. You have a right to cross-examine. You usually have a right to make an opening statement, and you state the facts out as clear and as concise as you can. And then when at the end they said, do you have any final remarks? And I would make some preparation. Again, I've said for lawyers, reputation, reputation, how do you get a good reputation? Preparation, preparation, preparation. And so I do believe that. So I would make my notes and prepare, and then I would make a very plain, concise, believable, convincible, turn me loose on the closing argument. And so many of the times we've closed them, and it's the words you said that make a difference in that administrative law judge's mind.
All right. We've got now Tony on line 2. Hi, Tony. What's your question for Kevin Kennedy tonight?
Yes, sir. I recently, well, about 5 years ago, I purchased a property, and when I first looked at the deed, was the layout of the deed.
Yes.
You could tell that over the years, it's an old lady that lived here. She paid for every dime in the house.
All right.
They've been encroached on my property.
Yes.
Now, I hadn't gotten surveyed, but I'm pretty sure I've got my neighbor's driveway and carport on my property.
Yes.
What should I do? Well,
the first thing to do is to go and have it surveyed. You know, the truth is, I've been in the residential rental business 40 years, have over 100 different properties. I have a commercial, I have farms. You know what I've learned over the years? When you first buy a property, have it surveyed. You need to know what the boundaries are, because we see this all the time where we knew the line was here, but the neighbor's garage is on our line. So how are you going to correct that? So take a proactive approach. As soon as you get that done, then you need to talk to a lawyer and say, how are we going to reconcile this? I tell my neighbor, if you want, you can buy this from me, because obviously if they've already got a building on there, they don't want to tear that down. So, but you need to have a good understanding, because someday you go to sell it, it's going to get you in a lawsuit because it's not resolved. And for your children, do you really want to leave your children a lawsuit? No. And guess what? You'll never even get a good price. You won't get a fair market price, because we all know there's a problem.
All right, we got Wanda coming up next on line 1, so you hold tight, Wanda. We will get to your question next after this quick break, but keep it right here on News Channel 5 Plus, Open Line.